of times for us. He has a great story to tell. And when he's done, we all need to go over there for a picture, okay? Tyler, you tell your story. I can't give you a better introduction than you can. Push it on the base, There you go. Push it in. Go from 3. There you go.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Tyler Shepis. I'm a senior at Safed High School. I'm 17 years old, and thanks for having me speak again. I'm really excited about it. And I'll just tell you a bit about my story and about how important it is to donate blood. So about almost 2 years ago now, one of my friends, Ethan, got diagnosed with severe aplastic anemia. And I never really realized how important donating blood was until that point. And I still never realized how truly important it was until months later when I was battling my own disease. So in April of 2022, while in school, I discovered 2 lumps on the left side of my neck by my collarbone. And I originally was a little thrown off because I hadn't noticed them before and they were decent in size, each about the size of a dime. And I told my mom about it and we said we would monitor them and just see how everything goes. And didn't think it was much of anything. I was sick the week before, so we kind of just assumed that it was maybe a flare-up from just having a cold or like getting over the flu. So we went to the doctor, and my doctor told me that they were swollen lymph nodes, and they can pretty much come from a number of things. And he said it could be from me being sick, which is kind of what we assumed at first. But he sent me to another facility anyways, just to be sure, where I had blood work and a chest x-ray done. The chest x-ray came back normal, and I had mostly normal blood work, except for just some high white blood cell counts, which again, we thought was just because I was fighting an infection. After that, I was sent to the UPMC Children's Hospital, and I met with my oncologist, Dr. Bukowinski, and he told me that my symptoms had fit in an irregular category, where he didn't think that it was an infection, but he didn't think it was anything serious like a leukemia or lymphoma. So he said we would just monitor it for the next few months and see how things went. And over the rest of the summer, I lifeguarded and continued to play baseball. I felt mostly normal. The only real symptom I had was severe itching, especially on my feet and legs. And it was so bad I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would just be like ripping my skin open, and it was just in constant agony. So whenever I went back to the doctor at the beginning of August, there were more little lymph nodes that popped up, but still none that were as big as the ones that I had originally first noticed. And my doctor said, he suggested just doing a biopsy, just take some of the lymph nodes out and just figure out what it is and we could be done with it. So at the end of August, I had my biopsy, which was my first surgery, so I was a little nervous for that. And over the next week, I kind of forgot about it, really didn't think it would be anything. I thought he was gonna say it was just some infection that was lingering. And then on September 1st of 2022, I had a regular day and came home, and I saw my parents waiting for me sitting on our living room couch, and they told me to sit down, and I just kind of knew that there was something terribly, terribly wrong. And that's when they told me that I had stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so obviously I was shocked by that, and just my whole world was flipped upside down. And I really didn't know what to do. I felt lonely and just heartbroken, and I really thought that my life was over from that point. So the next week we went back and forth from the hospital, and just my doctor telling me all the stuff I would have to go through, all the chemo regimen and getting my Metaport placed in, and it was just so overwhelming. But I had my parents there and my brother to support me, and they really helped a lot. Having a support system was really, really important to me. And especially for younger people and high school students, a lot of people don't know what to say when someone is facing a difficult challenge and like a terrible disease. And I always say, when in doubt, reach out, because you're never bothering someone if they're battling a disease and you ask them how they're doing or how they're feeling or if they want to talk. It's only going to make them feel more appreciative, because whenever you're at your lowest, you're gonna remember the people who were there for you and who stuck by your side. So my chemotherapy regimen was once every 2 weeks for the next 6 months, starting on September 14th through February of this year. I had my last chemotherapy on February 26th. And the chemotherapy was extremely intense. I would have it on every Thursday, and I would pretty much just be completely wiped out. I wouldn't eat anything. I would just sleep a ton. I was always nauseous. I always had a horrible taste in my mouth, sweating uncontrollably, and it was really just miserable. Each day felt like it was a week packed into just the 24 hours. I did as much as I could to pass the time. I built puzzles with my parents. We went on walks. We played games whenever I could. We watched TV, just anything to try and take my mind off of the fact that I had to get chemo and had to battle this disease. And through the entire process, I just always tried to keep a positive attitude, because whenever you're faced with a challenge, you can say, I'm gonna take it head on and I'm gonna knock this out and I'm gonna be better for it. Or you can cower in fear and just say, this is it. And the support that I had just was so uplifting that I just knew, I knew that it was gonna be a testament to my strength and my courage. And all the people who were there to support me were just absolutely amazing. So I had a scan after 4 months, which showed that I was going into remission and the chemotherapy was working. And then at the end of my treatments, I had another scan, and I was declared cancer-free on February 27th. Since then, I have had a great increase in health. I've been active. I've been feeling a ton better. I've been able to speak and share my story and let everyone know how important it is to have support, to have research, and to especially have companies like Vitalant who help millions of people each year, because there's a lot of people that struggle, especially when getting chemotherapy. They need blood and they don't have it from anywhere. So if you're able to, I would obviously recommend donating. It's not very difficult. It takes just a little bit of your time and you're saving a life. So it's really, really, really important. And I thank all you guys for coming out here and helping the cause, because you're really changing people's lives, whether it's someone who is a newborn or someone who's 90 years old. It helps people from every age range, from all over the country, from everywhere in the world. And it's just an extremely, extremely, extremely important thing that is just absolutely outstanding. So I had another scan at the beginning of November, and it showed that I was still clear. So in, I think, beginning of January, I had a family friend of ours set up a blood drive in my honor, and through Vitalant, and that's whenever I really understood how important giving blood was, because there were just an enormous amount of support. The spots filled up immediately, and I had chemo the day before the blood drive, and I was able to stop down for just an hour, and it was just awesome to see how many people showed out to support and to give blood. And it was just so inspiring, because I knew that as bad as I felt, that they were gonna help other people, and people who were in the same situation or even worse than I was in. And that's why I just, once again, wanna thank all of you guys so much for helping the cause. So, thank you for having me here and letting me share my story. Thank you.